Welcome to Inside the Blaze. In the next 60 minutes, we're going to look at 5 key members of the Coventry Blaze squad. Every team needs good players, but they also need a good coach. We're going to go to the Marriott Hotel and Golf Club, where the players like to chill out and catch the #1 coach in England at the moment.
Yeah, he'll get over it. Yeah, okay. Beat it!
Part-timers. Paul Thompson, head coach of the Coventry Blaze. This is my 10th season with the club. In every one of the 3 divisions that we've played in. We're currently trying to win the same thing in the Elite League. 7 major trophies to date over 10 years. Well, I played the sport. I had a back injury. 91, 92. I had 2 discs removed from my back, and I tried to come back after that. I was playing for Sheffield at the time. I tried to come back after that, and it wasn't to be. You know, I was still living in Solihull, so travelling over to practice and to play in Sheffield, my back would, you know, it wasn't up to it, and so I decided to mope around for a year or so, and you know, then I took over a junior team, the under-14 teams in Solihull, and we did well, and I progressed then to coaching the B team, and I did okay with them guys, and then I took over the Barons as it was then in 95, 96, and we became the Blaze 96, 97, and I've been the head coach ever since. Well, a lot of things. I mean, I think, you know, you gain experience as a coach by running a bench. I mean, that's a critical part of the game, because you can change things, you can adapt things, you can turn things around, you can line match, you can put certain players in certain positions, certain ways. So, you know, your mind's totally ticking for the full 60 minutes, where, as in football, you know, once the players cross the line, you've got 10 minutes at half time to re-evaluate. Well, I've got the whole 60 minutes because I have my players coming off and on during that period of time. So it's you know, it's mentally, it's tiring, especially when you've got tight games, close games, and but you know, it's what I do. Well, you know, you got to be reactive and you got to be proactive. I mean, we try to be proactive in getting ourselves ready for whoever we're playing, and but as a coach, you got to react to what's happening out there, and you know, and slightly change things that you're seeing out on the ice. So, and I think, you know, that's what makes a good coach, is when he can adapt to the situation he's in. And you know, you can go into a game situation, you can be prepared, and you know, they start doing things differently than what you prepared for. Well, it's no good carrying on doing what you're doing and what you prepared that you thought they were going to do, and you've got to react to that. And I'm lucky I've got an intelligent team and a smart bunch of guys that you know, that will do that, and that's the reason they're at the level, you know, they're at the level they are as players, is because they can change their game, you know, to the situation that's there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a rivalry against any other coach. You know, I'm employed to make the Coventry Blaze part of a winning ice hockey team. You know, I'm one cog in the big wheel. I mean, you know, we're all proud people. I mean, I know all the coaches, and you know, like I say, when I was a little bit raw 10 years ago, I mean, I didn't particularly like any other coach, because I was thinking I have to prove something. You know, the only person I've got to prove to is myself, that I want to get better, I want my team to get better, and we're all our coaches understand the pressures that you're under about winning. And you know, that's why we're employed. If we continually win, which I have over 10 years, that's the reason I'm still here. But if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here. I'm under no illusions. But you know, of course there's great rivalry between the coaches, because you want your teams to win. But I think it's at a very professional level. Crikey, I've got a few of them. I remember falling between the benches in Fife and nearly knocking Mike Shewan out. That was one of my classy moments, and I think I fell on the bench at the Sky Dome and nearly knocked Michael Tasker out. And I'm not too light these days, so I suppose a full blow of the coach coming down on you when you're not waiting for it. Most embarrassing moments. Oh, you know what? When you're around 20 players every day, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things. But yeah, falling off a bench flat first onto your team in front of all the Fife fans was something that was quite embarrassing. Well, it's like anything. I mean, you know, when you're a professional sportsman, everybody thinks that, oh, you got an easy life, you got it this. I mean, it's great. We're all involved in something that we love doing. make no bones about it. But we probably work a hell of a lot more in an hourly week than people do that go to the factory or the office, and people don't believe that. And you know what, the players, they need their recreation like anybody does. You know, they need to go out and have a couple of beers, they need to unwind, they need to go and play golf like anybody does in a 9-to-5 job, and it's exactly the same. So I mean, we've got a fantastic relationship with the Forest of Arden here, and you know, the guys can come out, you know, periodically, not all of them, but they can come out and play some golf and unwind, and on their days off, you know, that's what I encourage them to do. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, like anyone, like any player, if you asked any player, they'd like to play in the NHL, and I'd like to coach there. I wouldn't make any, you know, I wouldn't mislead anybody along that front. What I would like to do right now is win a championship for the Coventry Blaze in the Elite League, and you know, and then that will be, personally, from my point of view, you know, I'll have won a championship in every professional league there is in Great Britain, from the bottom to the top. So you know, there's a lot of motivation from my point of view on that. But I want to win it for the fans. I want to win it for the players. I want to win it for my family. I want to win it for the, you know, the other directors. I want to win it for all reasons. And where that'll take me, you know, who knows? I've got another year left on my contract after this season, and you know, I'm very happy where I am. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've steadily grown. We finished, what was it, fourth in our first season here, sorry. We came second in everything to Dundee the following year. Then we won, you know, we lost in the cup final and won the league championship and the playoffs in our third year in the B&L. And you know, and in our first year in the Elite League, we finished in third place, and now we're challenging. You know, we're currently, you know, mid-January, we're top of the Elite League. So I think, you know, Coventry fans haven't seen a losing team in Coventry, to be honest with you, and that's partly, you know, down to them as well, and our sponsors and all the local businesses and the fans that come out and have supported us over this time. But yeah, it's been a steady, strong 5 years. Yeah, don't do it. No, any tips? I think you've got to work your way from the bottom. You've got to understand what makes players tick. In this day and age, you know, it's you know, when I first started out on the sport, you could grab a guy and knock him round the head and throw him in the shower and put a cold shower on him and do whatever. I mean, now it's man management. It's you know, if you're going to play 60, 70 times a year, how do you get your players motivated to play 60 or 70 times a year? And everybody's different, and you have to treat everybody different. And I think, you know, that's what's got me through the 10 years is knowing and hopefully understanding the people I'm working with. And you know, they don't always like what you say to them. Because, you know, you're trying to make them win, and you're trying to make the team win, more importantly. And if that individual needs, you know, pulling in line, but there's different ways you got to do it, you know. Some guys need an arm around their shoulder, some need a kick up the backside, some I have to light a fire under. I mean, you know, but it's knowing your team and it's knowing your players, and it's respecting them. And I think if you respect them, you'll get that respect back. And it's surrounding yourself, and the key is surrounding yourself with good people. I'll probably be selling deck chairs on a beach on the Isle of Wight somewhere. I'm a fully qualified electrician, where I was, and then I went and worked for British Telecom, and I'd probably still be with British Telecom, to be honest with you.
Jody Lehman, goaltender, Coventry Blaze, from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, been with the Blaze 3 seasons. I think you grow up, and my older brother played, my father played, and all my cousins and relatives played, and it's a way of life for us in Canada, and it's pretty much how football or rugby or cricket is here. You grow up being influenced by a sport, and obviously ice hockey is the sport that we play in Canada. Well, I started out playing defense, actually, and played for a few years when I think I was 5 and 6, and I decided it's not exciting enough, so I decided to play goal, and I've been a goaltender ever since. I mean, I like to go out and play out a few times and have some fun with the guys, but I always wanted to be a goaltender, and you know, here I am today. It was good. We had a good conversation when we were doing negotiations on me coming here, and you know, he promised me some stuff, and he came through with things. And just the negotiations, I knew what I was getting into, and he's been honest to me, and the owners have been honest to me, and that's all you can ask for as a player. So, they've treated me great for 3 years, and you appreciate as a player, especially playing in the same spot for 3 seasons, and you appreciate just being there for that long, and they stuck by me through the bad times and the good times. So. A lot of credit goes to Paul. He's been great to me as a coach and as a friend as well. Jeez, I don't know. I think, was it against London? I'm not even sure. Everything's so surreal, kind of. Even though I played against a lot of guys on London's team, Jeff Hode, and I think Jared Adams was there, and played against a lot of guys. And just trying to find your place. I mean. Everything's a new experience. It was definitely a new experience that day. You just don't know what you're getting into, and I believe we lost 4-2 or something like that. And things went on fairly well after that. We had a great team that year, and obviously playing that team, and obviously we lost that game, but we learned a lot of stuff, and we just got stronger as the year went on. So obviously it's nice to have that when they chant your name and stuff. And actually, they started that in South Carolina, where back in my first year, and I don't know why they seem to taken to me and like me and become pretty. The fans took to me and was like a fan favorite, luckily, and they used to chant my name throughout the playoffs and when we won the championship there. And then I think there was some influence from the fans there that got the fans from Coventry doing it, and I've been fortunate. You appreciate stuff like that when the fans do it. Well, I'm not that bad, but I have my days, and I have my good days, and I have my bad days. But I love golf. I always will love golf, and I'm fortunate to have been able to come up to the Forest of Arden and play. They're a great bunch of guys up here. They take care of me, and it's a pleasure to on a day off to come up here and have a round and have a meal and coffee and maybe go for a sauna or a hot tub. These guys are super to me, and I appreciate everything they do for me. Obviously, it's a world-class championship golf course, and I'm pretty honored to be playing it. And the great thing about it, it's making me a better golfer. So I'm getting a little more than fun out of it. So it's awesome. Well, I don't know. I don't know what losing is or what it does, but I like to think that I'm a winner and I like to win, and if my mindset's like that, that's just the way it is. If I'm a poor sport, but I like to think that the will to win is mine, and hopefully that continues throughout the year and we can win a championship this year. Well, I don't know, my biggest achievement, there would probably be maybe my championship year in South Carolina, because I went in not being the starter and ended up playing and being a big factor in it. And obviously our double, when we won the double when my first year here in the BNL was huge. And I think to win the league this year would be maybe the top achievement, just because it's in the top league and you're the best, and that's the bottom line. Obviously BNL was huge, but I still think this would be even bigger. Hardest forward I ever played against? That's a good question. Well, you can look back at junior and the East Coast League, and guys like Marty Murray, who plays with he played in Germany and went back and played with Calgary Flames and Philadelphia Flyers. He was a solid player, and played against him with Brand, and I was in Moose Jaw. He was an excellent player. Guy, I think he's a leading scorer in the DEL now. Danny Bousquet, he played for the PD Pride and East Coast League. The guy is an excellent goal scorer, and he was always tough. Whenever he got the puck, you had to be on your toes, and obviously a guy like Jason Ruff last year was just a solid player and someone you got to watch. Obviously, he could do some amazing things with the puck, and as well as Tony Hand's tough. Every time he has the puck, you know he's gonna find somebody to pass it to, and you got to be on your toes to and be prepared when he crosses over the blue line. Just playing the puck or letting in a shot from the red line, it happens, and it's happened more than once to me. And you bury your head and you try to forget about it, but it sticks with you a little longer than you expect, though. So just forget about them. I have some flashes on some goals I let in, but if I dwell on them, they'll happen all over again. So I try not to dwell on them.
Adam Calder, Portage la Prairie, Manitoba. Played last year Wichita Thunder in the Central League, and now Coventry Blaze forward. Just growing up in Canada, that's all everyone does in the winter. It's pretty cold there, so you don't get to play outside. You get to the lakes are frozen, so it's pretty much it's what you grow up doing. There's 2 seasons in Canada. There's the cold season and there's the month and a half of summer season. So you pick your sports wisely. I picked baseball in the summer, and just for 4 months you played hockey. That's pretty much it. But Tom will give you these questions or what? Training's all right. I don't mind training. Pre-game skates I could do without, but I don't know. I enjoy training. I enjoy match night better. I wish we'd just play games, but that's not going to happen. Hobby. I play a little golf with Jody once in a while, once a week. Usually try to get out, and but other than that, I haven't picked up any hobbies yet. I think my mom wants me to get one, but that's probably not going to happen. Xbox maybe. James Peasy got me an Xbox, so I enjoy spending a little time in front of that. I like the mild winters. Calling back home at minus 52 degrees with the wind chill, I don't miss that at all. But the mild winters are good, and other than that, it's been all right. Well, the ice is a lot bigger, a lot more skating over here, but the hockey is very similar, and so far it's been pretty easy to get along over here. So, well, semi-final Challenge Cup, that's unbelievable, isn't it? It's a big thrill for all the guys, I think. Other than that, nothing yet. We haven't finished anything yet. We're looking forward to winning the league if we can keep rolling like we are. So. They've all been pretty ugly, so I don't know if I have one. They're all playing with the guys that I play with. You get a lot of just tap-in goals, so it's been pretty lucky. Back home where I played, when you played on the road, and you got heckled, and here it's like 800 fans traveling to Nottingham. It's unbelievable, the support, and even in the Sky Dome, it's tough to get a seat in the Sky Dome right now, so it's been pretty good. I would swear Tom will give you these questions to ask. It's unbelievable. I haven't decided anything like that yet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the season ends. The media? Oh, I love the media. Free time, any free time I get, I'd love to do an interview.
My name is Wade Belak. I play for the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NHL. I'm now playing in Coventry Blaze as a defenseman. Well, I think as a crowd, I think you do play in front of smaller crowds here. It's not like 17,000, 18,000 fans you play back home. And as far as the game goes, the rinks are a little smaller. Some rinks actually have no glass on them, so it is a different experience. But overall, the rules are pretty much the same. I guess no red line here, but that's all right. Quicker game. I didn't really think too much of. It wasn't that big of a transition, I should say, for North America to here. I know when they signed me, it was real big news. I know all my buddies in Toronto were making fun of me and stuff because it was like I never had that much media attention on me. So it was nice that everybody was excited to have an NHL guy to come over. I think the biggest reason was probably that I play for the Maple Leafs. It made it that much more exciting. So, no, all the fans are good, and you know, like I said, they treat me real well coming over here, and you know, it's just been great. I can't believe all the hype that's been involved with me coming over here. So, but I'm just happy to be here and contribute any way I can. Yes, she's not here right now, but yes, there is. Because I'm such a big wheel with the women. No.
You've broken so many holes there.
Oh yeah. I got them beaten. I got them lined up at the door. I've played a couple times since I've been over in England. I wouldn't say I'm a good golfer. I enjoy it. I'm probably about a 20 handicap, so. But I enjoy it. I get out there and I can hit the ball far. I don't know which way it's going sometimes, but no, it's something when you're a hockey player that it just kind of the two sports go together. It's just something everybody does, and you know, I enjoy it, and hopefully I can get a little better at it. But you know, it's just nice to get out there. Oh, probably I'd miss the guys and the fans and just the way I've been treated over here. I think you know, the thing playing with Toronto is you're constantly under a microscope for any failure you do on the ice. If you're not playing, you know, having a bad shift or a bad game, and you know, the media hype there is you know, it's astonishing. It's just that's all they care about is hockey, and it's been nice to come over here and have fans that enjoy the game, but you know, they don't I guess take it away from the rink and talk about it 24/7 like they do in Toronto. So it's good that way, and you know, when you're away from the rink, you can kind of, you know, think about other things like golf maybe. Jeez, I don't know, the NHL, if they cancel this season this year, I think it's gonna just, I don't know if the game will ever recover, because hockey is such a big it's such a big sport in Canada. I think it's going to be fine in there, but the market that we have to worry about is in the U.S., where they have so many major sports going on that hockey's kind of fourth to them. So to them, it's not a big deal, but it would just you know, it would hurt the game a lot, and to the fans who enjoy watching it, it's you know, it's not good for either side. You know, I hope it gets resolved, because you know, they have a couple weeks here to get something done, and you know, if they want to salvage the season. Here or in the NHL?
In general.
Well, there's so many good players. God, I don't know. Probably I'd have to say like a guy like Peter Forsberg. I played with Peter and against him, so I know how he thinks out there, and he's still strong on the puck, and he's one of those guys that he's going to hit you before you can hit him. So he plays tough, even for a Swede, and he's just a great person, a great hockey player. He's so skilled, and I just love watching him, and I think he's definitely a hard guy to stop out there. God, we've all had lots of embarrassing moments on the ice. Probably I've had a few tip-ins into my own goalie, into the net a few times, but as a D-man, it's kind of tough to, you know, you're going to probably go, it's tough to go your whole career without, you know, scoring on your goalie at least once, so, because you're always in front of the net trying to clear guys out, and sometimes you do deflect one in your own net, but, you know, you just got to take the good, you know, the good with the bad, I guess, and you know, it happens to all of us. Not much, just trying to get my air back before I get on the ice. You know, we play with 5 defensemen every game, and when Doug was out there, we had four defensemen, so it was, you know, you're playing a lot where you don't really have time to kind of get off the ice and think about your next shift, because you just got to get out there and play. It's all this reaction, and what hockey is, which is, it's nice. If you get off and you start thinking about what happened on that last shift or what's going to happen on the future shift, then it just kind of messes with your whole game. So it's nice to come off, have a drink of water, and you get back out there and just keep going. Like, that's the good thing with playing with 5D, is we're always out there. You always get thrown out there, and there's always you know, situations you get thrown into. No, I think he's a great coach. I think he's one of the coach. He's definitely a player's coach where you can talk to him and joke around with him, and when it comes down to game time, he's serious, and you got to respect a guy like that. I know those guys they're hard to come by, because some coaches who are soft and who want to get along with the guys, they're bad coaches and they don't get the respect, and the guys just don't work hard for them. And I think Paulie's been here for 10 years, and I think his way has he's won a championship, and I think his way has proven that you don't have to be, I guess, a hard ass to get a reaction out of your team. I think I've played with those kinds of coaches where they just yell and scream, and you see them the next morning, they don't even look at you, they just kind of walk away. So he's definitely a player's coach, and we all work hard for him, and it shows. I think we're in first place, and if we didn't like him, I don't think we'd be winning. Just work on your skating. Defense is a hard position to play. You gotta obviously skate forward and be able to skate backwards, and you gotta have good mobility to go back and grab the puck as quick as possible and make that good first pass out of the zone. That's probably the hardest thing with defensemen coming up, is making that first pass. You make that first pass, you get out of your end zone that much quicker and into their end. So biggest thing is work on your skating, work on your puck control, and work on your shot, because you get that puck back at the point there, you got to be able to throw it on net for a rebound or score. So just overall work on your game. I think just our work ethic, and I think some of the games we've been down, like last weekend, we were down 3-1 going into the third. We battled back to go in overtime. So I think we're a team that doesn't quit. Sometimes we come out a little flat, but we always know we're going to come back and play hard later on in the game. And we got a great goalie, and he's been here for a few years now, and just great guys. I've won one championship, and you win. That's how you win championships. You win with good people, good coaches, and good players on your team, and everybody getting along. So that's our goal this year, is to win a championship, and hopefully we can go down as people remembering us for that. Too much traveling as a player, so I can't see myself being a coach. Being a coach nowadays is just like being a player. Your lifespan as a coach is 3 years, and then you're fired, and you're moving your family to a different city, and it's I'd like to be somewhere where I'm in one place, and that's it. My kids can grow up in one place, and not have to ship them around to different cities, and actually have that kind of home life I had as a kid. You grow up your whole life in one city, and then you leave, and that's it. Probably driving on the wrong side of the road. No. No, just the fans, I think, and just the great, just the great friendships I made with my teammates. It's just been a blast right now, and it's just like playing junior hockey again, where everybody's just close knit group, and we all get along, and it's hard to find on teams right now.
Ashley Tate, 29, born in Toronto, Canada, British, play forward, played for Nottingham, Hull, and this is my third year with Coventry Blaze. Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, was born in Canada, mum's Canadian, so when we came back to Britain, kind of parents had a little bit of an interest in the game anyway, and I think that's kind of how I got started. I don't know, obviously my first year for the Panthers I was 15, I was there for 6 years from there, then kind of the direction the game went, kind of I had to go somewhere else where I was going to get some ice time, which I did. Kind of things kind of progressed quite nicely from there. I went back to Nottingham. I think I had 3 pretty good seasons there. It was just maybe time for a change. Nottingham, the coaching staff, they wanted to take things in a different direction, and that didn't involve me, so it's time to move on. So that's kind of what happened. Obviously got to talk to Tomo and the management and see what they have to say. you know, it's just one of those things. It's kind of year to year, which is it's not great, but that's just the way the sport is. Well, I've been asked this before. I think, you know, I might have the C on my shirt, but it doesn't. You know, in the dressing room and stuff, there's probably a handful of guys you could, you know, everybody's vocal, and you know, they pick up the slack and they, you know, let guys know if guys need to be told stuff. So I think in Neil and Joel, you know, any one of us could have the C on it. It doesn't matter. So they're all vocal guys, and then, like I say, all the other guys pick up the slack as well. Oh, I don't know if I can tell stories. What about stories? There's always practical jokes, that kind of thing. Kind of BT, Russ Cowley, James Pease. It's kind of, they keep it in their little circle, and you know, it's just a different day. It might be a different person. It's kind of, you know, there's always jokes and stories, and you've got to be pretty careful what you say, because if you say something that's may come across as, you know, a little bit stupid, then you've got 17 guys jump on top of you, so you've got to be pretty careful. Yeah, it is. You know, it's up to anybody who plays sport and get injured. You know, if the physio tells them 6 weeks, they want to be back in 4, kind of thing. So it does, because you know, you want to be out there, you know, putting some effort in, giving your all for the boys, and it's pretty tough to sit there and watch. I think the first year, really. Obviously, the Finders Cup final was kind of a kick in the teeth, but it kind of, you know, that's probably the best thing that could have happened to us, because it kind of, you know, it taught us a few lessons, told us what we needed to know, and we kind of went on from there. It was, you know, to win the league and the playoff championship was something special for me. I don't know, not too many people have done that. I've seen Russ do it in practice once or twice, but especially in this rink, because it's pretty small. He's a big lad. He's pretty formidable. So it's someone like that. I don't know. You probably want to stay out of his way more than get in his way, I think. I think it depends on your makeup, your build. Like Dan, obviously, he's not the biggest guy, but he is small and he's quick, like you say. Myself, I'm a little bit taller, not the biggest, so obviously speed is an asset as well. You know, someone like Andre, he's bigger, kind of likes to get down in the corners, get his nose dirty. That's where, you know, he gets to kind of use that to his advantage. So you've got to play to your strengths and your advantages. You know, mainly this year, we like I say, we're in contention to win 3 trophies. I think we've got to. That's kind of our focus, or my focus at the moment. We'll do that, and then we'll see what the future brings, whether it be in Coventry or somewhere else. So we just have to see what happens. I don't know if I've got the right temperament for coaching and that kind of thing. Like I say, we just have to see what happens. Done a few hockey schools and stuff like that during the summers, but it's obviously coaching at senior level and kids is a different entity, so we'll just have to wait and see.